Good afternoon. It's now officially noon, so good afternoon and welcome to our presentation, How to Be a Successful Student at Georgia Tech. My name is Dr. Beth Bullock Spencer and I'm the Director of Undergraduate Advising and Transition, and I work closely with our tutoring and academic support programs. And we're the two teams that have come together to create this presentation, which is designed to introduce strategies to help you achieve your goals for success at Georgia Tech. Some of you have already found the chat section of this where you can submit any questions that come up during the presentation, and our moderators behind the scenes will try their best to answer them as they come up. But we'll also have time at the end of this formal presentation to take general questions, so please definitely submit those. If we were back in what we now think of as normal times, we would be doing this presentation face-to-face with a big group in one of the rooms in our student center on campus. And I and the other people who would be presenting would do our best to engage you. We'd ask questions and we'd try to get you not only to talk with us, but also to talk amongst yourselves, because talking about success is a really good way to put the gears in motion to achieve it. The best we can do to kind of replicate that in this not so normal situation is to get you to participate in some polls. So we have several during this, and we hope that you'll actually give us a little bit of feedback. It's kind of fun. We appreciate it. And our very first question to kick this off is, what does success look like at Georgia Tech? Now, hopefully, you've already given this some thought, and because setting goals for success are a really, really important first step in actually achieving them. Your list may look a lot like this. It may look nothing like this. That's okay. But with these choices, getting a 4.0, graduating in 4 years, or studying 40 hours a week, or a lot, which one do you think is the best way to define success? Go ahead and give us some answers. They're coming in. All right, well, it looks like so we got some results, and the most popular one, from what I can see, was graduating in 4 years. And I'm wondering, there's no way to know this, how many of you out there are parents? Did you actually answer this? Is this your goal or your students? I'm teasing. Definitely a good goal, definitely one I support. Getting a 4.0 and studying 40 hours a week both came in with about the same results. So the good news about this question, how do you define success is that there's no one answer. There's not a right answer. There's not a wrong answer. Every student's definition for what success is should be their own, and every student's journey to achieve that is going to be a little bit different too. But we definitely want to bust a few myths about success, because we know from our work with students that sometimes people actually do say that success is only about getting a 4.0 or a super high GPA. It's only about working really, really hard. And it's only about getting that degree, and possibly in a very particular time. Now, I'm not suggesting that these are not good goals or valid goals, because they are. You should have high expectations for yourself. You should definitely plan to do well. Graduating in 4 years is certainly doable, and if that is your goal, please set that and share that with a lot of different people on campus so that you can have a team of people helping you achieve that, because it's definitely doable. And certainly you should expect to work hard at Georgia Tech. You've come here to be challenged, and there's nothing wrong with working hard a lot of hours, but these are not the only ways to define success. You're not your GPA, you're not just your degree, you're not a timeline. Really important to think about your success as actually completing what we call a Georgia Tech education. And that's going to mean that you're going to want to take advantage of all your major and other academic opportunities offer you. You're going to want to become a leader and a great team player. You're going to want to get global experiences, research experiences, connect with new people, definitely get some work experience, etc. It's an awful lot to do. And finding time and learning strategies to do what you need to do and you want to do is what we actually call working smart. And if you're able to do that, it's going to help you achieve all of the other goals you've set on your way to success. So our next poll question is about transitioning to Georgia Tech. What do you think will actually make that transition smooth, as smooth as possible? Will making new friends do it? Is it about having a good class schedule, however you define that? Or is it about learning about your majors and study strategies? Go ahead and let us know what you think about this poll. Okay, here, I had to click a button to actually see the results. Sorry about it. I'm a little bit slow on technology sometimes. Well, once again, there's not a single answer for what will make the transition smoother. And certainly connecting with new people, making friends, feeling at home in your classes, and knowing about resources to do well academically will make the transition smoother and better. There's a lot to think about how to do all of this, and we have some really good news. GT 1000, our first year seminar, GT 2000 is our transfer seminar, but GT 1000, our first year seminar, is, you can think of it as a package deal to help you achieve all of this. It is a 1 credit course, which means it meets for 50 minutes a week. It does have a letter grade. And when you talk to students who are at Tech, they'll often say that GT 1000 is good to take because it's an easy A. Now, it's not a free A. You definitely have to do work and you definitely need to participate. But if you do this, you're going to think of it as good work, and it will definitely should be a very manageable and enjoyable A. It's not called it's not called the first year lecture. So it's not going to be like this where someone's just talking at you. It's discussion based, which means you actually get to know people in your class. It's a small class. It's usually capped at about 20 people. And there's some special people in the class. Team leaders are a really important part of it. They are Georgia Tech students who are in their second year or beyond, and they've gone through a competitive process to be selected to help facilitate the first year seminars, to help you have the same wonderful transition experience they had. Taking the class is a structured way to actually work through your success checklist. You'll definitely explore your major and academic opportunities. You're going to get started on your career plans. You're going to learn how to be a good team member, and you will get a lot of help with studying and other success strategies. And we hope that you'll think about attending the next presentation at 12:30, which goes in depth about our first year seminar. Okay, so here's a different sort of question. What will you do when you get stuck? And by this we mean academically stuck. And you may think, I've never gotten stuck before. We know you're really smart and maybe school's always been easy. But no matter what, at some point you'll probably have some kind of academic obstacle or challenge. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. When you get stuck with these questions, what would it be? Would it be call your parents or other part of your support team, study harder, longer, or tap into resources available at Georgia Tech? Well, I really love the fact that the majority of you chose that you would tap into resources at Georgia Tech, because I do think that it is the best answer. Definitely, sharing your concerns or challenges with parents or your support network is a good thing. And sometimes you do need to study harder or put in more effort. But the successful students know that you've got to do more than just that. You need to engage with academic support resources, and our campus has so many. We could spend a whole hour just on those. We could spend more than that. But in this presentation, I want to feature a few of those brought to you by our tutoring and academic support programs. These include one-to-one tutoring, which allows you to make an appointment with a tutor, drop-in tutoring, which is without an appointment. You got a question in the area, stop in, get some tutoring, and peer-led undergraduate study, which we abbreviate as PLUS, which is Georgia Tech's version of what is known as supplemental instruction. And if you've done some dual enrollment somewhere else, you may have already come into contact with supplemental instruction. You can think of PLUS as guaranteed, productive, organized group study. It's a wonderful thing. All of these programs are part of what we think of as peer learning. They are brought to you by successful Georgia Tech undergraduate students who have already taken the classes at Tech, earned an A, been carefully selected, and undergo ongoing training and their own professional development. through a nationally certified program. So you know that they're really good at what they do. These programs, again, are part of tutoring academic support programs, but we have other types of peer learning on campus too, such as those brought to you by the Office of Minority Education Development Programming, some of our academic units, and of course we also have the Communication Lab. Peer learning is great. You should definitely give it a try, but you also don't want to forget about the people teaching your classes and developing all that content, and that's also working with your faculty and your teaching assistants. Be sure you know about office hours and don't be shy. You've come to Georgia Tech to work with these world-class educators. Spend some time with them on an individual level. This is a lot to actually think about, and sometimes students aren't sure, where to start or what would actually help. So we also have what was known as academic coaching. And this may be something you haven't thought of before. It's not tutoring and it's not academic advising, which we'll talk about in a minute, but it's something special. Working with an academic coach is going to let you work with experts individually on the process of learning and becoming familiar with strategies and putting those strategies into practice. Working with one of our academic coaches provides you the time and space to set goals for success, identify obstacles and resources, and create your own plan. You can think of your academic coach as an accountability buddy. And I'm proud of myself for actually saying that right. I often don't. Academic coaching, as well as all of the tutoring services I mentioned on the previous slide, are free of charge and available to all of our Georgia Tech students. Our coaches have also put free workshops available at your fingertips 24/7. These are online and they're 3 to 5 minutes long, so it's not a big time commitment for you. And these are on topics such as time management and test preparation, etc. And again, everything's free and available to everyone. Just mentioned your academic advisors. This is a group that are very near and dear to my heart. I've been an academic advisor for much of my career. And these are the experts who help you unpack your major, understand your degree requirements, and create your own map to graduation. They should be considered a first-line resource for you for almost everything at Georgia Tech. They're definitely a great resource for planning your schedule. You'll begin working with them as you come to FASET this summer, and then you'll get to work with them in person this fall. But they're also great for helping you understand your academic progress. Where do you stand? Are you making the grades that you should be doing, getting the experiences you need? They're the people to talk to in terms of when do you want to fit in some work experience or get an internship or co-op. They'll help you understand policies and procedures and rules and regulations, not the really exciting stuff, but some of the really important stuff. Set goals for professional development, decide if you should study abroad, do research, and so much more. Your academic advisor is an expert in your major, so everyone's got one, but you'll also work with many other types of advisors on campus, including those in pre-health, and also we have an exploratory advisor. And you may think, well, what's that? What's an exploratory advisor? Our exploratory advisor is an expert to help any student at any step along the way figure out ways to understand all of the options on campus. Are you in the right major? Are there other majors that might be better or different? What about minors and certificates? How can you add to what you're doing? How do you actually connect what you think you want to study with what you think you want to do? And how important is that? And you can see that with the little slide here, it's for people who think that they know probably what they want to do, all the way to people who are thinking, I am totally overwhelmed and completely undecided. And we'd love to hear about how you feel right now. So we've got another poll. Let's see. Yeah, so right now people are pretty confident. A lot of people are thinking they might change, and some people are definitely want to change. Keep in mind, it's totally normal to make a change, especially in the first 2 years, and everyone has an opportunity to do that, but you should work with an expert to help you make good decisions. We've thrown a lot of information out during this presentation, but the thing that we really want you to remember, if there's just one takeaway, is that successful students are the ones who seek help and take advantage of available resources. And you're not going to remember everything that we said, we know that, but please do keep in mind that we've got some really easy websites that you can go to that will connect you with all the resources I've mentioned, and in addition to others. These are just advising.godtech.edu and tutoring.godtech.edu. Finally, we're almost done. We do have some time for some questions, so that'll be great. But we want to make sure that you that you're aware of the other great resources that are brought to you by the Office of Undergraduate Education. So the programs I've mentioned, we're all part of undergraduate education, and OUE is bringing you some other webinars this summer on things like the Career Center and co-ops and internships, undergrad research, innovation, GT1000, and so on. So we'll hope that you'll check back with us and other FASET resources. And we all are really looking forward to working with you either this summer if you're starting with us or in the fall when you join us.